Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now it's time for the takeover.
Buckle up for Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant just sucked the gravity out of the target center.
Not the game. We talking about practice, man.
That third strike three. Dodgers have won it all in 2020. Oh, what a shot from Curry. Diggs, sideline, touchdown.
The return to glory.
Now it's time for the takeover.
Well, Dick, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. If you ain't first, you're last.
And there you have it, folks. It's episode 155. It's the first episode of 2025. And I'm your host, Ryan Seekert. Welcome to the Takeover Sports Podcast. And it's another beautiful afternoon here in the Treasure Valley. And it's not just me that's doing this. We have the guy behind the scenes that's making it all happen, Sean DeVille. How are we doing, my man?
Dude, I'm doing great.
Great.
Yeah.
Did you do dry January? What's going on?
No comment. No, I did not.
Oh, it's okay.
You did though. How was it?
It was good. It was actually really good. I feel great. I was very, my mind was clear. I was working out a lot. There was a lot of muscle growth. You could kind of feel it.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It kind of has me like a little sober curious. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't
Keep it going.
I don't need the booze.
No.
But, I'm glad you're doing great, Sean. But, you're not the guest.
No.
It's not about us.
Never is.
I don't know if you guys read the title of this episode, but we have a very special guest, and he goes by Mad Dog. Welcome to the show, Maddux, Jeter, Madsen. How we doing, my man?
Good. I appreciate you for having me on. This place is sweet.
Yeah, what do you think, man? What do you think of the setup?
It's awesome. I mean, the vibe is immaculate.
Okay, hey, immaculate vibes. Listen, guys, see, just the more reason to get on this show. And so the middle name, Jeter. Don't know if you guys are any baseball heads, but that's Derek Jeter.
Yep.
And your dad, bit of a baseball guy. And you played baseball in high school. We're going to go all the way back to American Fork.
Sweet.
So American Fork days, that's where he's from, American Fork, Utah. Dual sport athlete. But did you play baseball all 4 years, or was it just your senior year?
No, I played baseball all 4 years. So
Okay.
I played baseball I played 3 years at American Fork, and then
Transfer.
my dad became the high school coach at the high school that we were supposed to go to, and so I transferred to Lehigh to play for my dad, and we won the state championship.
That's what it was. You transferred your senior year of high school.
Yeah, it was my senior year of high school to play at Lehigh, and I had two brothers that I played with. They both played, and then me and my dad was coaching.
Okay,
It was sick.
And that is, you're like the Ball brothers of baseball, dude. Yeah. So, what were your brothers' names? Aren't you guys all named after baseball players?
Yeah, we're all named after baseball players. So the two were McGuire and Mays.
Willie Mays, Mark McGuire,
Yep.
and then you're Greg Maddux.
Yep.
Is
And then-
Pops named after a baseball player?
No, he's not. My mom just was like, let's do this.
Oh, it was Mom's idea?
Yeah, my
let's
mom was
go.
in on it. She, I mean, at the end of the day, the one making the names was her.
You get the stamp of approval from the one that's given birth, right?
Yeah.
So you went on to win the state championship, and dude, you batted what, 455, if I'm reading this right, 4 home runs, 42 RBIs, 5A Player of the Year, leading them to the state championship for the first time since 1981 with Pops as the coach. And based off this stat line, can I guess where you batted in the lineup?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Let's see. What's your 40 time? You're pretty fast, right?
Yeah, in high school, I ran a high school 40 my sophomore year, and that was like a 4.8.
Okay.
That was the only time I've ever ran a 40.
Okay, that's solid. So 4 home runs. You're a contact hitter. Decently fast. I want to say you were batting second.
No, I was beginning of the year. I was hitting third, and then I started hitting fourth. Yeah.
You were batting cleanup too.
Yeah.
So wait, who had the most home runs on the team?
There was a kid that was hitting sixth, and he had like 6 bombs.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so it wasn't like we were hitting.
Oh, you didn't have like
20
a
bombs.
Aaron Judge on the
No.
team that was like, okay, gotcha.
No.
Dang, dude. Okay, gotcha. I was close to saying leadoff
Yeah.
because that's a leadoff stat line. You're somewhat fast, but
Yeah, our lineup was actually pretty sweet. Like my little brother, he was a junior at the time. He had leadoff, and then there was a kid Like one of our good buddies hit second. And another one of my good buddies, he's actually playing quarterback at Colorado State.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he hit third and I hit fourth. And then the whole lineup was just buddies. And it was
And
fun.
brothers, buddies, dads, pops is coaching.
Yeah.
That's
so my
sweet.
dad was the assistant at this time because like he had just resigned from Utah Valley.
Okay.
But the head coach was like one of our good friends, and then he kind of decided he was going to be done the year after, and that's when my dad took over.
Okay.
So my dad's like now the head coach.
Okay, so growing up, and I guess even throughout high school, you also, I mean, football all 4 years. Did you, like, what sport did you love the most?
I actually enjoyed baseball so much, and I always like loved football, but it was more of like a seasons thing. Like I even played basketball all the way up until like after my freshman years when I stopped. And so like I loved basketball. It just depended on season, but when I really like enjoyed football my junior year before baseball season, because I just played my football, and just right before baseball season, I tore my labrum and dislocated my shoulder, so I had to get surgery. And so I missed like basically my whole junior year, except for I was able to pitch in like the state playoffs, but I missed all of that baseball. And then that's when I like did 7-on-7 circuit that spring. Like I was doing the baseball, football was kind of hard, but that's where I was like, okay, I'm a football player. Like I like football.
Okay.
And so that's where I found more of like the love for football than I did baseball.
So that's when it clicked. Because I was going to say, that's not you, is it?
Yeah, that is me.
What? Dude, did everyone bleach their hair on the team?
Yeah, it was like a thing that we did before the playoffs.
Okay, because I know sometimes people or teams get that ritual to.
Yeah.
Are you wearing glasses? I can't tell.
Yeah,
'cause
I'm
the
wearing like
light.
clear Oakleys.
Oh my. Okay. What was your favorite pitch?
My changeup.
Change up.
Yeah, it wasn't very good, but it was like good enough for like a high school changeup that it would.
What are you throwing in that photo? Is that a
I'm throwing a fastball.
fastball?
Just a two-seam fastball.
Two-seam fastball. What was the hardest fastball you've thrown?
It was actually when I was at that point in the game, I was probably 90 pitches in, so I was probably throwing like a Mach 75 with pain in the shoulder.
Ah, okay.
No, I'm just kidding, but I actually really don't know. Like my junior year, I felt like I was throwing harder, and it was around like upper 80s.
Okay,
88,
I was gonna
yeah.
say that's okay.
I
a
wasn't
good
this guy
fastball.
to just go throw gas. Like I was more of like a pitcher. Like I would say that. Like
Greg Maddux.
yeah, that's exact. That's the greatest representation of it. Like I was just a pitcher. I was not throwing gas, but
Command, good movement. You don't need to throw the gasoline on it. You know, get the swings and misses with the nasty stuff.
that's my brother, and he's got his bleached hair.
Wait, which one? Go back, Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, Maze.
Yeah, that's my. He was a freshman at the time that I was there, but he's got his bleached hair in this picture.
Shoot.
And he's a baller too. He should play. Yeah, look, I think that was last year. He's got
That looks just like you.
Yeah.
Same flow.
Literally the same uniform. Like, yeah.
Same eye black.
Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, because based off your name, dude, it sounds like you were destined to be a baseball player.
Yeah, and I
Not a
actually
cheater.
like it was hard because my senior year, having so much fun in baseball, I was like, oh, do I really want to play football? Like, and there was people. Like obviously my older brother was a collegiate baseball player, and like he had contacts with his coach. He's like, tell Maddux if he ever wants to come play. And my brother's like, what money do you have to offer him? And because it's not even gonna be like football, it's all full ride. Like baseball, you can split it up. And he's like, well, we could pay for this. And yeah, he's not gonna do that. He's making money when it comes to Boise State football.
And so, because you've finished your senior year, I mean, what, you threw for like 3,000 plus yards, 38 touchdowns. Like, dude, you're still balling out in football too. And so then you get an offer from New Mexico
Yeah.
in February of 2021. Then you get an offer from Boise State around July.
Yeah. It was
And then
like
4 days later, you commit to Boise State.
so I actually committed on the spot.
Okay.
So it was kind of funky. Like I think it was July 3rd that I got a call from Coach Av and Coach Plow. And I was like, hey, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, like I'm going to be a Bronco. And they're like, all right, well, let's get you like a graphic. And so I think it was the 6th is when I actually like posted.
Uh-huh.
But I was,
Okay.
yeah, I had been like offered, committed.
That's why it said that. Okay. So, I mean, you said it too. You committed on the spot. So, I mean, what separated Boise State from, any other school reaching out?
Yeah, I mean, it was at that point in time, it was Boise or Albuquerque. I was not going to Albuquerque, New Mexico, that's for sure. And I had went out there, like, they were cool. The coaching staff was cool, and it was hard to kind of see like the differences between programs and like the staff being so involved. I didn't even talk to the head coach in New Mexico.
Really?
I barely talked to the offensive coordinator.
Oh, that's okay.
And like I talked to the quarterback coach, and he was an awesome dude. Like I actually still talk to him to this day. Like,
Oh, that's sweet.
He ended up getting the tight ends coach job at Oregon, and so like he texted me after, and I totally forgot. Like he texted me after the Oregon game. He was like, "Hey man, like just want to say congrats. Like it's awesome. Like,
that's
cool
sweet.
stuff." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome."
That's
But
sweet.
Really, it just came down to like the staff and the family. Like it. Boise State.
It just felt right.
It was just better, and it was closer to home. Like,
True.
yeah, I'm 5 hours away. I can drive whenever I need to.
So I'm usually good with geography, but I'm trying to think. So American Fork, Utah, is that south of Salt Lake?
Yes, it's in between Salt Lake and Provo.
Okay. Oh yeah, easy drive.
Yeah, it's not hard at all, unless you get going through Salt Lake during like traffic, rush hour.
Oof.
It's worse than the Boise traffic.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I drove to Salt Lake one time. It was 2 Januaries ago. Ski trip, bachelor party. Are you a skier? Snowboard?
Nah, I've never skied or snowboarded. My brother did.
Oh man.
My dad was like, "You're not skiing or snowboarding." Like,
That's true.
yeah.
I mean, it's a
But I was so
winter sport.
confused. Like he would like be cool with my brother going.
Oh, but not you?
Yeah, and it was like, I was just like, "Come on."
Older brother or younger brother?
Younger.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was like, he was a baseball player. Like, to me, I was a football player. Like, he was a baseball player. So if like he was to get hurt, he'd like football season was over at this point. Like he would have lost his baseball season. But I guess he's probably a little bit more coordinated and athletic than me.
They're trying to protect the 3-hitter. We can't afford a broken collarbone as for a 3-hitter. So yeah, easy drive for the family. I mean, did the blue turf have any selling to it as well?
I mean,
about that?
not crazily. Like I've known about it and stuff like that, but it was cool. It was definitely cool. And then when I actually got to come up for games, that was like next level.
You're like, all
I
right.
came up. I was here for the Oklahoma State game.
Brutal.
It was
brutal.
Yeah, that game did not end very well, but I'm telling you, like that was the coolest thing. Like, and I didn't even watch it from the stands. I watched it from like the recruiting lounge inside the facility.
Oh, so like the end zone?
Yeah, like those big windows. I mean, where Post Malone was at.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I
gotcha.
watched it from. And like there were times like I wanted to like open up the windows because I knew that place was so loud. Like
Just rock.
Yeah, I knew that place was so loud. But I remember like going back for more games. Like I went back to I want to say 3 other games, and I was like, hey, put me in the stands.
Let's
as nice
go.
it is to watching
Yeah.
a sweet little place up there. Like the stands is where.
Yeah, or even like on the sideline?
Yeah, I don't know if they could do that with the recruits. Like, I think it's
Okay.
illegal.
Really?
But, yeah. I know before the games, like they'll be down there, but as soon as the game starts,
Oh,
there's not
okay.
very many people on the sideline when the game starts.
Wonder why. Do you know why?
Probably a little bit of a hazard thing, and I don't know much.
Players
about it,
talking to
but
the recruits, maybe,
yeah, like
down there?
Yeah, just,
Okay. That makes sense.
yeah, and it's like something that like coaches, if they ever saw like a guy, like is that something that they worry about or
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Fair
They
enough.
got to throw the recruits in the student section.
That actually would
just-
be
yeah.
an awesome idea.
Yeah,
Give 'em
it's a
front
good
row,
selling
yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to Boise, man. You're gonna love it here. Yeah.
Until they get weirded out, like
Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
I had a bunch
Yeah.
of people like grabbing my shoulders and stuff. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, then it can get a little too rowdy, the corral. But so 2022 rolls around. First year, you then make an appearance, you redshirt. I mean, when you stepped on the field, I think you had like what, 4 attempts your very first year?
Yeah, I always like look at it. It's my best year of college football. 75
75, 3 for 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
150
efficiency was
passer rating.
crazy. Yeah, like my rating was crazy. Like that was my best year of college football.
I peaked.
Yeah,
So then you go red shirt, you threw it on, and then so 2023 rolls around. Going to slowly walk through this. So then the UW game comes up. Unfortunately, we lose there, but obviously, they go on to be in the national championship. So it's like, and then UCF game rolls around, and then so that's when it kind of seemed like you and Taylen were splitting a little bit, but then it kind of took a break. And then once the Memphis game hit, it really seemed like it was like, okay, a little bit of Maddux, a little bit of Taylen, a little bit of Maddux, a little bit of Taylen. And so, I mean, my question is, so like, how would you and Taylen Green manage to kind of stay sharp, but also root for each other in like a split QB game plan?
yeah, it was hard. Like honestly, like at what point did we kind of both got to that point where it was like we don't really know what to do anymore, like in what plays, like because there was like it was a game plan thing. Like we would have like our initials by plays. Like there would be plays fit for me, plays fit for him, and like there was times where like I was out in the game and it was a play I hadn't even repped all practice because it was like a TG play, or like vice versa. Like I remember like a couple times I'm like, wait, well, I know that was my play, like stuff like that. It was super weird, but I mean, I think personally on my end, I feel like I was always the guy that was there for Taylen, and it's like supporting him. Obviously, what he like was going through was tough. Like started, and like super high hopes for that year, and then like kind of just the confusion for him on his end was like tough. Like that's something hard to deal with. So like I personally tried my best to like be there for him, and in the same way, like whether it was fake or not, I would never see it being fake from Taylen. Like that's one of my homies. I mean, I called him one night and it was like 11 o'clock. I'm like, oh, what's up, dude? Like we're on FaceTime. He's asleep. He answers my phone call. Like, like we're homies. And so like, I think we both kind of understood that like our relationship is more than who's playing what on the football field.
Good, good, dude. I know that's like super important. Like, another thing I want to piggyback off of too, and it's like, I mean, do you kind of feel like at one point, like, you'd be clicking and then they'd be like, okay, come out. Do you feel like that can mess up like a QB's confidence too?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like, I mean, for instance, the Memphis game, I got told like, hey, you're gonna play a little bit in this Memphis game. Like that was the first time they told me like you're gonna play, because like UW, I played at the end of UW, wasn't really expecting it.
Towards the end, yeah.
The UCF game, it was like our offense hadn't done much, and Taylen actually ended up like rolling an ankle, and so like that's when I went in, and then. I can't even remember who we played after that. Like
there was, I think it was a small school. Was it like North Texas?
No, it was No, because we played North Dakota last year.
It's a green logo. I can see it. It wasn't Portland State.
It was North Dakota.
It was North Dakota.
It was North Dakota. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we played Portland State last year. It was North Dakota, and I played at like the end of it.
Yeah.
And it was so hard because after the UCF game, like I had a conversation with Bush, and like, he was like, "Hey, you played awesome. Like, there's certain things like we got to try and do to like get you like more involved." And then we go play like North Dakota. And I didn't play the whole time until. And then
San Diego State, you didn't play either
until we were up, and then I think I was like 100% against North Dakota. And I was like, okay, like I played, like I was frustrated, but I was like, I played good, And then we go to San Diego State, and like I didn't. And my dad came, he flew out. Like my dad flew out, and one of his buddies flew out, and I didn't play snap. Like seriously, I didn't play snap.
Yeah, you didn't play snap.
And I was
against
like,
the Aztecs.
Oh my gosh, like I was in ways frustrated because they've been telling me stuff like, hey, you're gonna play a little bit, and then I didn't. And then like after the San Diego State game, I talked to Bush, and Bush was like, hey, you're gonna play in this Memphis game, and he's like, whether it's one drive, the whole game, I don't know. And I go in for the one drive, and like my first pass was like the craziest, like probably one of the crazier passes I've thrown in my college football. Like it was like over somebody. I was like, it was just like right there. I was like, oh, whoops, like we're going a little bit, and then we go like 3 plays and out. That next possession, like that next set of downs, and I was like, and I missed the throw on third down. Like it was an easy completion. I missed it, and I was so mad because I didn't play. And I was like TG was like playing, and then all of a sudden like we were down, and then Bush was like, "Hey, you're gonna go in. Like we gotta come back. Like you're gonna go in." And so like I played,
like,
and
what?
I was like, at one point my confidence was shot, and then next thing you know, I'm getting put back in the game. And
and you're kind of like, oh, okay,
I thought I was done for the game. my 3 plays weren't good enough. So, but it was tough to not navigate. But I think Taylen and I both understood that we can work together through the whole thing.
That was just kind of, I wanted to get your position on that, because I mean it's different than I feel like a running back committee, right?
Yeah,
because
you don't see 2 quarterbacks.
Lonnie and Ashton were doing that, but I feel like from the start it was always kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
Take less hits. I'm sure they were probably like, all right, sweet. But then quarterbacks, I just felt like
you
it was
don't really
different.
see that.
So, and then fast forward, unfortunately, then New Mexico.
Wait, really quick. Are you guys both basketball fans?
I'm not.
Was it the Jimmy trade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw that. I was going to get a live reaction.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, Shams texted me already.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Sean. But no, I'll look more into that. That was crazy. But so, unfortunately, New Mexico, that's when he got hurt, right?
Yeah, it was my first start.
First start.
I got named the starter, and I was like, it was so much confidence in that game. And I was like loving life. I was playing good, like,
You
and
guys
obviously
were balling.
New Mexico, I was like, they weren't great, but I was like, I'm playing good. And then like right before half, we're getting ready to score a touchdown too, and like I get hurt, and I was just like, are we serious right now?
Did you know it as soon
And
as
I knew it was bad. Like I knew exactly. I was like, it's my MCL. Like I'm freaking out. Like I'm a baby when it comes to like I know. Like I get that sick feeling in my stomach. Like, I was like, and I actually was like, I'm gonna throw up, like, because I knew, like I knew it was my body's reaction. Like you're seriously
sick to your
hurt.
stomach, like you know you're done. You can almost kind of feel the pop.
Oh yeah, like the whole tingling in the knee. Like I go to step and it's just like weak, and I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Oh my goodness. And then so unfortunately, that ended your season.
Yeah.
But the very next day, Andy Avalos, gone. Spencer Danielson named the interim. Describe to me Spencer Danielson's energy, that shift that he brought to the team that very first day.
Yeah, I gotta tell the story because it was kind of like, so my family,
do.
every time they come to, like they come up for every home game and they stay in like the same Airbnb. It's out in like Eagle, like right off of Eagle and Fairview. Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of out there. Like
That's like
yeah,
almost Meridian.
yeah, it is.
That is
It's-
Meridian,
yeah,
actually, yeah.
yeah. I think it might be Boise, but it's like literally like right there. Like
Okay.
it's so close. to,
Eagle
like-
Road and Fairview?
Yeah.
That's border, like that might be the border Meridian.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure the address is Boise, but like it is out there. Like it's 20 minutes to the facility.
Yeah.
And so like we would go in at like 1, 2 on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I was just getting up, going about my normal day, and I obviously like was hopping around. I was like, I need a shower. So I like go in the shower, and my dad's like, hey son, like Coach Ab just got fired. And I was like, what? Like he's like, yeah, look, and he showed me on Twitter. And I was so confused. But then I look at my phone and it's like, hey, we're doing a team meeting. Like, just get here as soon as you can. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm hobbling around.
Can't even
I'm
walk.
just getting
Yeah.
showered. And so I like hurry and showered. And like my dad drives me over and I'm like crutching in. And as I'm crutching in, like Coach Av is walking out the team room doors. And I didn't he had just turned his head by the time I noticed it. And I was like, do I say something? Like, sorry, Coach? Or like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, what do you say?
Yeah, I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And like, I guess he had just like addressed the team. Like, yeah, I'm not coach. I'm not your coach anymore. Like Coach Danielson is going to be the interim. And I walk in the team room, like, and I was late. Like, I mean, it wasn't late because it wasn't this team meeting, but I walk in this, like the team room, and the vibe, I was just like, I felt so awkward because I like come crutching in. Like, I just felt like I just stole the show. Like, hey guys, look at me. Like I'm hurt. Don't forget me. Yeah. But really, we just went through a whole coaching change. Like, and then Coach Danielson like addressed the team, and then they addressed the offense, and it was just like. But I remember Coach Danielson's like, yeah, you guys go home, go home for the day, and we'll figure out what we're doing. But it was like the weirdest thing. But I think to your question, like, I don't want to say people were excited that Coach Ab got fired. Like we talked about, like nobody wishes that for anyone. But
right.
I think the long days kind of got up to people a little bit. And that's where I think the whole new change, like change is so good for anyone. Like I was having this conversation with someone the other day, like I'm getting ready to move into a new house. Like, and I'm super excited just for the simple fact of like change, reset.
Yes.
And I think the whole like energy towards life in general is like the best thing for you. And I think when we're talking about like in ways like people think it's entertainment, but for us, it's our job. Like that's our job is to play football. And like when you're struggling, you're going through hard times, and like this whole drastic mood change, energy change, and it's all props to Coach Danielson for bringing that. Everyone wanted to be there, and you saw that when guys were playing better. Like guys, you could say guys stepped up, but really like that was the guys. Like that's what they've been. They just haven't been able to play like that because they've been so tight. They've hated what they're doing, and then as soon as it was wiped and the whole thing changed, like. The whole thing changed, and it was like something that I look back at all the time, and it was like it's cool to see like those guys that were like struggling, like deep down struggling, and then all of a sudden just stoked.
Yeah, it seemed like, I mean, just the eye test watching that Utah State game, just night and completely different team.
Yeah, And that Utah State team sucked. That was probably a good game to start it off with and get going.
Yeah,
But
on the road too.
yeah, that's exactly it. Like,
Yeah, in Logan.
yeah.
So
That place is actually kind of fun to play at, by the way.
is it?
Yeah.
What makes it fun?
The student section is right, like, on your back. Oh, shoot.
You're good.
Yeah, it's like right on your back. And so they'll just sit and like chirp you. And like I was out there because I actually, most of the time injured doesn't travel, but I was just like, well, I'll just drive home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'll just drive home. So I drove home, hung out with my family. They're super cool about it. Like I was getting surgery. So they're super cool about what I was doing. And I just drove home, hung out with my family. And then my dad's side is actually like, hey, we're going to get like an Airbnb and we're just going to go hang out at this Airbnb and then we'll go watch the game. And this was before I got injured. So they still had this Airbnb. And so my family went up and I was the only one that ended up going to the game because it was supposed to like snow, rain, like it was supposed to be cold. It ended up like snowing at the end or raining at the end. But I just remember like the fans, like they're just chirping, like they're chirping JD, like they're chirping everybody. And I was like, this is like, it was kind of funny to me. Like, and a lot of those kids, and it's not like as bad as BYU, or like they're Mormon, but a lot of them, like a lot of those guys are.
Yeah.
And that's the funniest part. Like I think Keaton Slovis one time got asked like, "What's the toughest place you play?" And he's like, "BYU," because it's like it throws me off. Like, shut the frick up, you freaking idiot! You freaking suck. Like, that was Utah State. Like, and that's why it's a cool place to play to me.
You know, I've heard that fan base is like underrated for how I don't know about obnoxious. Maybe that could be the good word of like just bringing that energy of kind of just I don't know. Yeah. Even like at basketball games.
I've seen stuff about the basketball. Like the basketball stuff.
Like they're ruthless, dude.
Yeah, the basketball stuff is crazy.
So yeah, okay, good to know. I've never seen. Maybe I'll take a closer look on that student section.
Yeah, it's literally like right on your back. And Colorado State's the same way. It's like right on your back. That makes
Fort
it fun
Collins.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, can you pull that up? Utah State. Oh, look at that. He's already on it. So is it in the end zone? Or are you talking about like against the bench?
No, it's like literally on our bench.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to see that now. That makes, yeah, they're right there. Oh, basketball, football. Oh, yeah.
That's against BYU, yeah?
Yeah, that's BYU.
Damn. Yeah, they're right on you.
They're literally like right on our backs.
That's genius, though.
That's smart.
Yeah. Holy smokes, they are right there. Poor Jeremiah Dickey. I know you said they were grilling him, but hey, that's our GOAT. Leave him alone.
Yeah, he is the GOAT.
But yeah, man, craziness. And then the transfer portal opens up. You know, Taylen obviously does his thing, which good for him. Arkansas it's a sweet gig.
Yeah, 100%.
And then CJ Tiller, hey, you're playing. You know, get out there. And so I feel like the Holiday Bowl was kind of was it the Holiday Bowl?
No, it was the LA Bowl. Yeah.
Just kind of that's tough.
Yeah, and you always want we always talk about like you want to go in, you want to compete.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if guys were as confident as they were going to the Mountain West Conference Championship.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like the Mountain West Championship was like that was the postseason.
Yeah,
I think we were,
and that's like everyone like to even be in the championship. Everyone was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then winning it, it was like, "All right."
Because the odds were what, less than 1%.
Yeah, it was less than 1%. And then we go and win it, and everyone I think that's when peaked.
See, that's why Spencer Danielson says thank you Jesus every time. It's because we weren't supposed to be there. Thank you Lord.
Yeah.
But then this year, historic, dude. But the start, Malachi Nelson. You're hearing all this 5-star recruit, USC. He's 6'3", he throws the ball different. They're waiting for him at the airport, welcome in. Then he commits, and we're like, oh my goodness. Then you're hearing all the beat writers like, oh, it's Malachi's job to lose, blah blah blah. I'm sure you're hearing all this too. And then, dude, you win the job. So I want to know, Maddux, are you the type of athlete to read these comments and just kind of motivate yourself, or do you just kind of go, yeah, it is what it is?
Yeah, I don't really read them, but some of the times it's entertainment to me. Seriously, I mean. The whole spring the whole spring camp goes by, and after the spring, I meet with Coach Danielson, and it was I kind of told Coach Danielson hey, I did this whole confusion last year with everything. I'm not doing that again this year. I'm just gonna be straightforward. I'm not doing that. And he was like, no, we're not doing that. He's like, but I will tell you right now, you're gonna be the starting quarterback going into this fall camp. And he's like everyone, all these beat writers saying it's Malachi's job to lose, but words of Coach Danielson. It's like, it's your job to lose. Like,
You're taking the blue reps.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And so, like, I never actually, like, let those affect me in any way. But it was, like, my fall camp was terrible, if I'm going to be completely honest. Like, that was the worst fall camp I've ever had in my life.
Are you serious?
And I've only done, I guess, 3 now, but that was the worst. Like, I was, like, so bad.
You're just like...
Just early on, I guess, in general. Like, early on, the first couple of practices, few practices, I was terrible. But then when we, like, kind of got into new stuff and scrimmaging, like, the scrimmages is what I loved because it was, like, in ways, defense gets the script night before practice, and it's like, okay, they're running the route for the wide receivers, trying to pick balls. Like, I was like, that stuff fires, like, it frustrates me so bad. And I love our defensive backs, but it's true. I mean, they're walking through our concepts in the morning, and then we go out to fall camp practice, and they know exactly what we're running. Like, they know exactly what we're running the whole time.
All right, bring
and so
it.
then we go in scrimmage, and our scrimmage statistics are crazy. I'm like, yeah, you guys didn't know exactly what was coming.
Yeah.
It's called off a game sheet.
Yeah.
But, like, my fall camp was terrible, and I never really, like, lost confidence, but I wasn't, like, gaining confidence throughout the fall camp. Like, I was like, oh, I'm not playing very good. And I hadn't played football in 7-8 months because the spring I only did 7-on-7. Like, I didn't do live team reps.
Did you... and I guess when did your knee fully heal? I forgot to ask that.
I was fully healed by fall camp. Yeah, because I didn't play in the spring game.
That's right.
I just did, like, the 7-on-7 circuit. I think I had, like, 2 reps.
Just kind of wearing a brace the whole time, just throwing passes.
Yeah, I was so frustrated because I'd go out for practice for the first 10 minutes and then have to sit there in my full pads. Like, can we do something else?
Yeah.
Like, I kept asking the trainers, like, can I get, like, a slip or something that, like, dismisses me from my shoulder pads so I don't have to sit in discomfort the whole time? Like, I'm not doing nothing. Like,
And dude, another thing too, and this one just, I feel like it's just, the beat writers and everything, they got a nitpick. They're like, oh, he's like 5'11", and I'm like, is 5'11" short? I'm 5'11", I'm cooked too then. What the hell? What is this? This is ridiculous. I was like, all right, Maddux, I'm cooked with you, man. I guess 5'11's not good enough.
Some of the greatest quarterbacks are below 6 foot.
Drew Brees.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, number 1
Baker.
Baker.
Baker might be above 6 foot, but he's not.
6 foot on the dot.
Yeah,
6 feet in cleats.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
6 foot with $100,000 telling him to be 6 foot.
Yeah, and so I'm sitting here, I'm like, that just, like, you guys, they just nitpick and whatever. But, all jokes aside, do you feel like, though, like, when you check your blind side, I saw Cage Casey walk in, dude, 6'5". Do you kind of feel like sometimes you're like, damn.
I don't ever feel like I'm losing vision. Like, I don't ever, like, miss a guy because of, like, seeing over people. But there's a lot of times, like, the wide receivers will say, like, I did not see you throw the ball. Like, I just saw the ball. I'm like, yeah.
I knew where you'd be.
Yeah, I'm expecting to be somewhere. You better be there. I think there was an interception that was actually, it was Nevada. I remember it. Nevada, I threw it to Chase Penry across the middle, and he got, like, a defensive holding. And, like, I just was expecting him to be there. And he got held, and I threw the pick, and the defensive linemen are start talking crap. And this whole time, like, I knew it was a defense holding. Like, that was terrible. Yeah. And they're, like, talking crap, like, that's your second pick, like, you suck. And I'm like, just wait till we add 10 yards to the spot of the foul.
There's a little laundry,
yeah. Like, tell your defensive backs to stop holding. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, in that time, like, I'm anticipating him to be somewhere. And if there's any, like, mess ups when it comes to timing and stuff, like, it's gonna happen. But it doesn't happen very often.
Because those guys too on the line, like, they're not standing straight up blocking.
No, yeah,
like they're hunched, not hunched over completely, but they're in athletic stance.
Yeah, and they're probably sitting at 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not too bad.
Yeah. So this can be last year or even this year. Just kind of curious, once you made that transition from high school ball to college, do you ever recall, like, a moment being like it kind of clicked? You're like, okay, I got the hang of this?
Yeah, I think even, like, my freshman year, like, I have it so vividly remember, like, I knew I was the backup. We were going to Nevada. Nevada was terrible. And I was 100% expecting to play. Like, seriously, like, I knew I was going to play. I remember I Snapchatted my mom And it was the morning I woke up and I have this crazy bedhead. And my mom's like, "Are you nervous?" And I was like, "Yes." Like 100% I'm nervous. This is my first college game. And I remember being out there and I'm like, hands are shaking. I'm like, I'm getting warmed up on the sideline. I'm terrified. But when it really clicked to me was like, I knew I was confident last year, like the UW game. Like, that was where I was like, oh, I have really nothing to worry about. And because I knew they were good. Like, I knew those guys were going to be good. And I was like, I really have nothing to worry about. And then, yeah, that was really the moment for me. I was like, yeah, I've kind of transitioned in the right spot to understand, like, the speed of college football.
Okay. Game slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, sweet.
Yeah.
As a quarterback, Maddux, what's it like knowing you have Ashton Jeanty just like right behind you, just
Yeah, and his little stand.
Literally standing straight up.
He's like, seriously, I don't know if I'll ever experience it again in all my life of playing football. Like, as long as I play, I don't know if I'll ever experience that again, because it was like, when in doubt, you got the best player. When in doubt, you got the best player in the country behind you. Like, let's do that. And so it's like something I always like will just be like, oh my goodness, I can't even believe I did that. Like, I want to get him. I want to get, like, I got one of the college football playoff game balls. And I want to get that signed. Just like, I'm like, yeah, this is something I'm holding on to the rest of my life.
Dude, yeah. And isn't that just crazy? Like, you had a Heisman contender.
Yeah.
Should have been winner.
Yeah, he should have won. Yeah.
On your team, like, during your collegiate career. Like, that's something you can brag about forever.
Oh, yeah. 100%. And it's, like, crazy. Like, it's still, sometimes I don't even think it's real.
It literally doesn't seem real. And there was always... and it was kind of an unspoken thing here in Boise. You know, I've been here my whole life. It was kind of like, oh, if Kellen Moore couldn't win it, like, oh, nobody could. Like, no one's going to be better. Like, no one can pass Kellen.
Yeah.
Jeanty literally finished ahead of Kellen.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I
like...
know. It's crazy.
It's craziness, dude.
Yeah. You hear people talk about Kellen all the time. Like, I was playing with Ashton. Like,
yeah.
It's crazy.
GOAT. Yeah. Build the statue.
Yeah.
Been saying that. And so I guess for as long as you've known Ashton, you know, when did you know? Was there ever a moment? Because you've been him with his whole collegiate career.
Yeah, we were in the same class.
When you, I guess maybe when you met him, or was there ever a moment you were like, oh, this guy's like special?
Yeah, so I actually missed his, because he was an early enrollee. Mm-hmm. So I missed like the first spring, but I remember talking to like Coach Plow. I was like, oh, if George ever gets hurt, well, it looks like we could just hand it off to two. Like, people would say that all the time. And then when I first saw it in camp, I was like, oh my gosh, this dude's like insane.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, that's him as a freshman, yeah?
Yeah. It was his freshman year. Like, because we were the same class. I just came in like a couple years or a couple months later because of like the early enrollee, normal enrollee. But I was like, yeah, this dude is insane. And then obviously seeing him, like, I think that I want to say San Diego State was when he went stupid and that comeback
in San Diego.
No, it was,
or was it
the year before when we came back against San Diego State?
Oh, that's right.
That was the first game with Coach Koetter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, yes. And it was like 34-31.
Yeah.
At home. Yeah, that's when.
And he was like, he kind of ran all over him a little bit. We rushed for so many yards that game. But I was like, yeah, this dude is legit. Yeah.
And he was like catching a lot of passes.
He was. And the year before last, when Bush was the coordinator, like, that was one of Bush's things. Like, I remember Bush would always be watching Saquon tape, like how they got Saquon the ball, and like that was what we were trying to do for Ashton.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Like, we'll let George run the ball inside, and we'll get Ashton on the perimeter.
That's perfect. I mean, it was just a nasty duo.
Yeah.
And yeah, a special player, dude.
Yeah, 100%. It's crazy.
And I'm excited to watch his combine.
Oh yeah.
And see where he goes.
I know. I'm like, I don't get really throw to him in the pro day. Maybe he'll do it, but.
Yeah, would he do the pro day, or do you think he just saves it for the combine?
I don't think he does the pro day.
Okay.
I think if he does the pro day, if anything, it's not going to help him.
Yeah, because he's going to be showcasing. I mean, what does he have to showcase at this point? Yeah.
Ooh, a little jab step that he does on 10 guys, missed tackles. Like,
they've already watched the tape, dude. Watch like the live. Yeah, I mean, pretty much what I think what scouts are going to be looking for, just his 40 time.
Yeah,
maybe
I bet
bench.
40 is a big thing. I don't even think they care about bench. Like,
okay,
I bet 40 is a big thing, and then
a 3-cone.
Yeah, maybe even like some of the art running back drills, like
Catching some of the passes.
catching might be a big one, but other than that, I don't.
He should go first round. Regardless.
Oh, he'll go first round. Regardless.
Yeah.
Were you there the day of his, what was it, 600-pound squat?
Yeah, I was right there. Yeah, that was the craziest thing ever. I was telling that guy last night, like, they literally had to stop it. Like,
Yeah, with ease.
Yeah, hey, we're not doing any more weight.
We're done.
Yeah, we don't have a bar for that.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, all right, fine. That's insane, dude. And I know you mentioned Dirk Koetter. I was going to say the following question here. What was it like being, able to work with a, offensive coordinator like Dirk Koetter this last year?
Yeah, it was awesome. It's like, it's one of those things, like, in the moment, I was like, because I dealt with him. I dealt with him. That's a terrible way to put it.
I had to put up with Dirk Koetter.
I worked with him my freshman year. Like, he was always one guy, like, was always instilling confidence. Like, it was my favorite thing about Coach Koetter. And even, like, through the whole, like, OC hiring process after Bush left, like, I was calling him, like, hey, what have you heard? Because I knew he was helping. Like, what have you heard? And he was like, I haven't heard much. And the one day he called me, and I was golfing. I was at Quail Hollow with Colt, and I was golfing. He called me. I didn't answer. I called him back. He didn't answer. And then he called me again. And I was like, literally like to the point where like I took a swing. Hey, coach, what's up? He's like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm just golfing. And he's like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, like, what's up? He's like, oh, have you heard anything? And I was like, no, I haven't. Like, that's why I've been in touch with you. Like, I haven't heard anything at all. He's like, oh, okay. I think I'm going to come in on Monday next week and just like talk to Coach D. Like, I'll run into you or whatever. I was like, okay, sweet. And then that same day, like that Monday that he was in there, Coach D's like, yeah, we want to announce our new offensive coordinator. And I was just like thinking like, oh, who's it going to be, And he's like, Dirk Koetter. And Coach Koetter was there. I was like, or no, he wasn't there. He wasn't there yet. Okay. I looked at Colt and I was just like, are we serious? Like, are we actually serious? Like, this is like, that was one guy that was like, I was worried about it. Like, we kind of delayed spring camp for it because, like, it's offense coordinator, like, has to run the show. And I was just like, are we actually serious? Like, and then I talked to Coach Koetter. I was like, you're a jerk. Like, you knew this whole time. You just want to tell me.
Yeah, did you anything?
He's like, well, you didn't answer my phone call when you were playing golf, so I wasn't going to tell you. But, like, that's just, like, the relationship I have with Coach Koetter. And then, like, obviously the knowledge of football and preparation side of it was something that I will forever carry in my career as long as I'm doing it. And if I ever just had to coach, like, that's a guy that I want to be like.
Yeah, and he's worked with, NFL teams, NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah, we always talk about Jameis. Always talk
about
Jameis because he worked with Jameis.
Oh, that's right. He was the head coach for the Buccaneers when Jameis was the quarterback.
When Jameis was there.
Yeah, when Jameis was a rookie.
Yeah, it was his rookie year.
Yeah, they beat my Saints a few times. I remember that.
Yeah.
I guess, are there any NFL quarterbacks you model your game after that you look at?
That's hard because, like, everyone to me has their own. But, like, I mentioned Baker. I love Baker Mayfield. He is probably, like, one of my.
Me too.
Yeah. This guy goes from, like, being the best player in college football to, like, having a rough beginning career, ends up in Cleveland. It's a terrible place to play. And then gets to Tampa Bay and just, like, turns it around in Tampa Bay after they lost Brady.
Yeah.
Like, this is sick. Like,
yeah.
That's Baker. And I love Baker and the way he plays. But there's other, like, I love the way Josh Allen plays. Mm-hmm. Just, like, a super competitive. That's, to me, what, like, I look for. And you could say a lot of quarterbacks are competitive, but, like, I think Pat Mahomes is elite. Like, what he does is awesome. Dude, That guy's an awesome competitor. But you look like A-Rod. Everyone loves Aaron Rodgers. And nowadays, it's later in his career, and he's like, to me, it's like, oh, I'm cool winning, 4 games, 5 games.
Yeah, he's still spinning it, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's crazy when you watch Rodgers. It's like, dude, when he just throws the football, it's different.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's
the
like,
spin on
mechanically is like the most smooth, fluid. Like
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I wish he'd go somewhere else because New York Jets suck.
I don't know what's going on there, man. I know they just got a head coach, but we'll see how much that fixes.
Get him in a different program. Let him finish his NFL career off the right way.
Do you have a favorite team?
I don't. It's actually crazy. I've always been like a quarterback guy. I love Russell Wilson when he was like prime Seahawks.
They were freaking fun
I remember
to watch.
I like a Seahawks lunchbox. Yeah, I loved Russell Wilson, but that was really it. Like I never was like, oh, I die hard Seahawks. Like I mean, I lived in Utah. There wasn't much around me that I could like cheer for. There's not a professional team. I'm not gonna go cheer for the Broncos. Like,
It's like that's the same thing here. It's like you can pick like Seattle, Denver. You got San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah. It's like I wasn't die hard about anybody, and it's like nowadays I just whoever I'm watching a game with, I always go against them.
Just play devil's advocate, dude. Everyone does that. I swear.
It makes it fun.
Someone that's neutral, you're just like, I'll fade the other team.
Even when you get into like the facility and guys are like talking about it, that are like super strong feelings about a team, like you just
like,
go to get somebody just for fun. Like
you
don't really like the other team. It's just like
you like to see suffer.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Start talking crap if they're losing.
Maddux, what does your cadence sound like?
My cadence?
Yeah.
It's not very good. So our primer word's like rhino. So I'll just be like rhino, clap. Simple as that.
That's it?
Yeah. We don't gotta know like 180. I remember my freshman year though, we did. Like with plows, like wide 18 said huh?
Uh-huh.
And Hank bullied me like the first time I did the cadence. He's like, you sound like a robot. And I was like,
Damn.
He's like, yeah, like wide 18 said huh? And like he asked all like the quarterback group, like, how does it sound? Like, yeah, that's terrible. That sucks. Like,
You guys practice your cadences in the QB room?
we don't practice them, but like they did, like we were out at PRP.
Grilling you?
Yeah, it was like a PRP, and they're like, yeah, your cadence sucks. And I'm like, it's a first.
All right. Deeper, like, dude.
My high school cadence was ready, set, go. Like, I don't think it gets very much simpler than that. Like, yeah.
So now it's just rhino and then.
Yeah, rhino and a clap.
Why the clap? Is that just
The clap's louder than voice. Like, you go somewhere that's booming, like the clap will.
And the fake you can get on
You
a clap
can get
too.
fake claps, yeah. You can get fake claps, but it's more of just like the loud.
Yeah.
It is louder than a voice.
Okay. I guess for, away environments, is Oregon the hardest environment you've ever been in?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Did you have stadium pulls?
I didn't care. But,
Squiggly lines?
Yeah, I was fine, but it was pretty loud. There's a couple times that like we didn't have any cadence issues, but it was loud. Like we had to be like the offensive line, like, hey, be louder. I was like, I can't. I'm screaming. I'm screaming. Yeah, like
Hide the ball.
I can't get much louder. I'm sorry.
Before that game, have you seen prior to that game, the what's it called, the 0-3 with the Oregon logo?
Yeah, I did see that.
I had made a graphic with you. It had the O and then a dash and then your number 4. Yeah. I was ready to let it fire, but
Oh yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
No,
I'm just kidding.
that was an amazing game. Like that was so fun to watch, and
Should have won that game.
I know, dude. Ooh.
we were there. Me and my buddies were there at that game, and we left and we got chirped so hard after the game, but we were like, well, you guys lost or won on a last-second field goal, so have fun against Ohio State.
Yeah, and then
They beat them, but
they beat them, and then they get smacked.
Smacked again.
It's bad.
Yeah. Question here. So, I mean, some of the games this year, being down against San Jose State, close game against Nevada, and Hawaii, just to kind of name a few. And close games like that, how do you motivate your teammates?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, the Hawaii game, we knew it was going to be tough. We're warming up, and they're playing reggae. Like, oh, yeah, like it's
different.
It's bring your own juice. Like, there's certain times it's like that. But like a great team doesn't need like motivation like that in those moments. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, it's just like where I think people fail is like, hey, let's go. Like, start chirping. People are freaking out. Like, you can see guys start freaking out. And it's like, no, that's not what people need. Like, people need a nice little calm, like, hey, let's go. Like, we're fine. We've been in situations like this before. Like, no one should be worried. And then, obviously, like, understanding that, like, we're not going to lose. Like, in all those games, I never once was like, we're losing. Like, never once hit me like, oh, we're losing. Like, it was always like, yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I was just like, there's something about, and it's just, it's something about the Spencer Danielson effect, man. I feel like the way you guys have played, even with San Jose State, granted that goal line stop was massive by the
huge.
defense. That was massive.
14-0 to 21-0 is like huge. Like,
that's a gut
difference.
punch.
Yeah, big difference.
Out of the gate. But, I mean, regardless, I just feel like I was I don't know. Never worried.
No, that's why people were like, "Were you ever?" No, I'm gonna be honest. No, I was not.
Yeah.
Like even Wyoming, like we're in Wyoming and we're down.
Oh yeah.
They kick the field goal or score, we're down. I'm not worried one bit. Why would I have to be worried?
Yeah, and Ashton's playing like at what 50%.
Yeah,
Poor
he-
guy.
that guy was
hurt shoulder,
banged up.
dude, knee.
Yeah.
Man, and it's always, dude. It's in Wyoming. It's just in
That
Wyoming.
place sucks to play. It's a cool place. I will say that. That place is sick.
The stadium.
Yeah, that place is sick. Like they've got the facility on one end and then big like pine trees on the other. Mm-hmm. It was and then their fans are crazy too. Like it's a bunch of drunk rednecks.
Yeah, drunk
Wearing
rednecks,
Carhartts.
cowboys. Yeah,
wearing their Carhartt overalls. Like
just country
yeah.
folk.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that place is sick though. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. I'll have to. I mean, I've never been like, I need to check out Laramie, Wyoming, but
There's nothing in Laramie. Don't go high expectations in Laramie.
I don't. No way. Yeah,
It's that all Laramie has is what University of Wyoming. That's about it.
go Cowboys, baby. And
Yeah.
rodeos.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, that is about it. I'm sure that rodeos are lit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's like their Super Bowls.
Oh, yeah.
damn near.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it gets cold.
Oh yeah, it gets freezing.
That can get cold.
We were lucky because we played late November and it was like
Oh,
40,
dude.
45, 35 degrees. Like
You hit the lottery.
yeah, my freshman year when we played there, it was like that kickoff
7?
was like 7 degrees and then it got to like below 0.
And it snowed.
Yeah, it didn't snow the
Didn't snow?
year I played. No,
Okay.
but like the ground was frozen. Like it was hard, and we'd step off the heated bleachers and I'd be like, let's not do that. It's freezing. Yeah, I'm not playing.
Okay.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, we are gonna stay as
Yeah.
warm as we can.
Yeah.
I have a question about UNLV. When you played in Las Vegas, you hit the Bring the Boom celebration. Was that premeditated?
Yeah,
You were
a lot of
ready.
those things are planned.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like if I score a touchdown, like I'm not going into game like I'm gonna score a rushing touchdown.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna bring the boom this
if I
game.
score a rushing touchdown, like what's our celebration? And I never really cared about celebrations until I think I did one with Bolt, Utah State maybe. I was like, ooh, that was kind of fun. Like went through some sillies.
Yeah. Why am I blanking on when we played Utah State?
Utah State was like week 4, 5.
That was the game. Ashton. You walked into the stadium late and Ashton scored a touchdown.
That's right. We wore the script Bronco helmets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
gotcha.
blue, orange, blue.
Yeah. God, we kicked the.
We
crap
had
out of
the Charlotte's announcer. The
Oh yeah. Okay. I remember that now. And Ashton got pulled at half.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
He went crazy.
I got pulled, like, cause I was so mad about that game. I get pulled. I'm like, all right. I'm sitting back on the benches, like, just chilling. Offense goes up, I'll cheer him on, but I'm not worried about a thing in my life. And then I think Malachi threw a pick,
He did. Yep.
and then they go score, and then we get stopped, and then they go score.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you got to go back in.
You're like, bruh.
I'm like, what? And then we go back in and score, and then it's like, yeah, you're good again.
Okay, you're good.
Took my helmet off and chilling again.
Yep. Hey, we're covering the spread still. Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Maddux, what's the biggest blessing Boise's brought you in your life?
I think I could say that super fast of just like the relationships, like lifelong buddies. I know like Hank Bachmeier. I haven't seen that dude in like 2.5 years. I'll sit and call him for an hour, just random times. Like
He's a dad.
I know he is a dad. Yeah, he was really also Twitter fans, man. Like he was really worried about naming his kid Bronco. He loved the name. Like his Jenna loved the name. Like,
Yeah.
and then he was like, do I do it, bro? Like, I'm worried. Like, I'm like, no, bro, it's fine. It's just a
your
baby
kid,
name.
dude.
And then as soon as it's posted, like, I look on Twitter and people are like, oh, isn't that ironic? Hank named his kid. I was like, come on, guys.
Guys, like,
Just
come
a
on.
baby name. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Like, that's his kid's name. Like, let him be. But
Yeah.
no, like, it's like those things to me, like lifelong relationships that it's like, I'll know I have the rest of my life.
I know, dude. And then I just feel like, especially the team this year, especially everyone that kind of stayed and went through the last few years.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I bet you guys are
It's
just
like the tightest native group I've ever been around.
good, dude.
Yeah.
And so I guess little more about you, Maddux. What do you like to do in your free time?
In the winter it's hard because there's not much to do, but
Can't
I love
golf.
to be. Yeah, I do love to golf. I love to golf. I love to be outside. Like, I mean, we hunt ducks. Me and a couple of my roommates hunt ducks.
Okay.
I go shoot guns all the time. That's my new hobby. Like, I got a sweet new AR with
Okay.
thermal scope, getting into the coyote hunting, trying to figure it out. But
Okay.
I do enjoy that stuff. I like met a guy that's got a ranch. He's like, hey, come ride horses whenever you want. I'm like, sweet.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ride. Like, just stuff like that to me. Like, just being outside and
Is that a
I
Riley
found
Green hat you have on?
yeah, it is a Riley Green. hat.
That's a Riley Green hat?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
by far my favorite. Like, did you see his cover of Slow Dancing or
I haven't listened to it yet.
Oh my gosh, it's fire.
Really?
Yeah.
'Kay.
Spotify exclusive too.
Yeah, it's Spotify singles.
See, I'm an Apple Music.
Nah, I knew
am
it.
Too,
I
but
could.
I am too, but I definitely Spotify because of that. Like,
Yeah.
Jeez, all right. Okay, all right, Apple Music. I know, make fun of me.
I like Apple Music better, if I'm gonna be honest. But
There you have it.
Their playlist making is way better on Apple Music.
oh yeah, 100%.
Is it?
Yeah,
Because you can share playlists with Spotify though, right?
you can do that
Or
now
like
with
a
Apple
shared-
Music.
you can do a shared
do
playlist. Oh, yeah.
collaborated. Yeah.
What makes it better, Sean?
Spotify?
Or what makes the Apple or what
Oh.
makes the playlist creating better on Apple?
I just have a hard time. Like, it's so much easier to. Maybe they fix it. I don't know. I just remember like when I had Apple Music, I could make playlists for days. On Spotify, I have to like sit down for hours to make my playlist. I forget. I think it's because you can go through. With Apple, you can go through like your library,
Yeah.
like easily add songs. Where Spotify, you have to type in each song.
Yeah.
Which I didn't like.
Oh, that drive me nuts.
Yeah, for the longest time, I liked Spotify because it had the suggested songs underneath
Yeah.
it. You can just click add. But now Apple Music has that too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Spotify also is cheaper. You get a student subscription, it's like $3.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
See, I'm no longer a student. I got that full price. I'll be working full time.
Just use your Boise State email.
Yeah, it still works. I don't think it works
Does
for me
it?
anymore. It works on my Apple. I stopped going to college in 2020, and I was using Apple Music till like 2022, and they didn't even question anything.
I think I do. I'm gonna be honest. I
Yeah.
think I forgot my password to my Boise State.
That's tough.
I'll have to check. Because it makes you change it like what every 3 months.
The Boise State?
Yeah, I have to
it's
change it
stupid
so
thing.
often. I'm like,
I
just
had
kept-
the same password.
and I just add a number to you.
No, I just like change what's capitalized and like.
Oh,
Sometimes it trips me up. Like I'm like, wait,
So did I capitalize this one
Yeah.
or did I see,
Yeah.
see? I do it's like a three numbered, like 3-digit number.
Yeah, it's
and just
smart.
add every time,
That is smart.
make it a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, was it 466? Am I still on 465? I'm like, oh god, what could it be? So I gotta try that.
Hopefully, no hackers are listening.
Yeah,
I don't think
seriously.
they're worried about my Boise
Yeah,
State
go log
email.
into
There's
Boise State
nothing.
email.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I mean, maybe some Albertsons coupons. Knock yourself out. Riley Green. That's your guy, huh?
Yeah. If I had to choose like my top 3 country artists, Zach Bryan with a breeze, Riley Green with a breeze, and probably Cody Johnson.
Okay.
Kojo.
Kojo.
Kojo, and I've been to both of his concerts that he comes to Boise, and they're like by far some of my favorite concerts.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like a Luke Combs, Morgan
I do.
Wallen.
I love Luke Combs. I love Luke
Luke's
Combs.
the
but,
man.
Like I want more music out of Luke Combs.
True. He's very like.
And everyone hated Father and Sons. Like everyone hated that. I love that.
I loved it
Yeah,
too.
That's something I'm gonna like.
It kind of hit here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be listening to in what, like 10 years when I'm having
Yeah.
my
Have my
second
little
kid.
kids,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna be like, oh, this is awesome. Like this is. He gives the perspective of being a dad, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is not like Luke Combs."
I'm like, are you listening?
Yeah.
Are you not listening
Listen
to the
lyrics.
songs? Yeah.
And then you add the fact of his voice, like, guy's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morgan Wallen to me is awesome too. I just wish that like,
He's mainstream.
yeah,
He's like
everyone loves him.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
But I will say like it's like the Smile single and I'm the Problem single.
Oh.
Just smack like
Love somebody.
yeah, Love Somebody's fire.
I think
Great.
his next
He doesn't
album-
miss.
yeah.
No.
Rarely, at
Yeah.
least.
His next album has like 47 songs on it, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Which, I mean, about
Maybe
time.
37,
This
I don't
homie's
know.
been. What's the last time he shot an album? Dangerous. It was like 2 years ago.
Oh, it was the.
The one of him at the porch.
Yeah. No, that was it. Was the one after Dangerous.
One thing at a time.
Oh yeah,
One
yeah,
Thing at a
yeah,
Time
That's right.
tour.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That is
Great
right.
album.
That is a good album.
Too many songs.
Yeah, some of the songs too were like pre-released, overplayed.
Yep.
Yeah.
very fast.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, you lose like those could have been your best songs on your album, but you lose the value because it's like the 3 songs that are out and everyone's like, oh my goodness,
That's a
Morgan
big-
Wallen dropped a song.
Very good, very, very good point.
That's a huge riff
Like,
I have with music.
You proof?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I've played this already so many times.
Yeah, like I love 98 Braves. That's one.
Oh.
That's one of my favorite songs.
That's a banger.
Yeah, but I'm like, part of myself is like, I can't listen to this anymore, else I'm gonna overplay it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna listen to that on the way home. Like,
Oh, there you go.
song's fire.
There you go. And then one last thing, golf. I'm big with golf too.
Yeah.
What's your or average score for 18?
I'll go shoot like under 80.
Oh, so you're good.
I would say I'm okay. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I ended my last round of the summer last year was a 74.
Oh, so you're really good.
Dude, that's a lot of playing. I play every day.
Okay.
So that's all I go practice.
You're a stick, dude. 74 is solid.
It was a good round. It was a good round for sure.
Favorite course so far in the Valley?
I got to give a shout out to my guys at Timberstone. I mean,
Great course.
yeah, that place is awesome. And
It's just far.
and yeah, that is true.
Great course though.
Except for, I think that's going to be one of my business expenses coming up. Like, I'm meeting with some of the football guys. Like, it's a business expense. I'm just going to write off all my gas mileage.
Golfing at
That's
Timberstone.
where
Yeah.
BJ does his tournament, yeah?
Who, BJ?
He does his
Yeah.
tournament at
Yeah,
Timberstone?
he does it at
Yeah.
Timberstone.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. I've golfed there once. Shot a 96.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's kind of where I'm at.
It is tough. I mean, it was once a qualifier course.
Dang.
Yeah.
The par 3s are too long, I will
Par
say.
3s are so hard.
Dude,
And
yes.
especially, like, I had a hard time hitting, like, my 4 or 5 iron. And then, like, once I kind of figured that out, it was a lot easier. But it was hard. Like,
I need to get those irons dialed because there was a par 3. It was like 206 yards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this isn't fun.
yeah. I mean, there's one that's, like, 230.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah, that might be it.
And it's like, what do I do? Just
I was like,
tee
you
up a
hybrid?
tee up a high 3-wood. Just,
Yeah.
like, let it try and lance off. Like, no.
Yeah, give it a nice fade. I'm just like, gosh. I was
Yeah.
like, this is no joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's golf sometime,
Let's do
dude.
it. Actually, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is. It's already been an hour.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Time flies. We're on the takeover.
It does.
I guess to wrap up, I usually just kind of like to have you talk in this camera. If you got a message for Boise State fans, I know
Does that have to be nice?
it can be whatever you want.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We just cut it out when we post it. It just fades. But yeah, no, I know the season's over. Usually a lot of the guys, it was like kind of during the season, so they're like, come support. But I mean, any off-season message you got? I know maybe kind of like maybe look forward to next season, but
Yeah.
let it rip.
All
Whatever
right.
you got.
Bronco fans, I appreciate you. Seriously, I mean, your support, it gets me excited, and it's, I mean, only February, and we got a few more months to go, but before you know it, we're going to be back on the blue with the boys and hearing you guys' support and chaos.
Blue chaos. Sean, any closing remarks?
No, I appreciate Maddux, you coming on, talking with us after an incredible, that was one for the books that you'll always be a part of, and you'll always have your name etched up there, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Top 5 season ever.
Yeah.
And everything
Top
that was yeah, dude, seriously. The expectations, especially like with what you kind of had going into the season for what you did, dude. I don't know you, but I'm proud of you.
I appreciate it.
Seriously. Like you never turned the ball over. Never took any bad sacks. Like, dude, what we asked of you and what was asked of you, I mean, you excelled. You crushed it.
Yeah, thank you.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And Tay, best of luck in your senior season.
I appreciate
Or I
it.
guess redshirt junior.
Junior, yep.
Redshirt junior season. So yep, exciting stuff, man. And wait, what's the opening game next season?
South Florida.
South Florida.
Yep.
Okay, the Bulls ain't ready. I tell you that. Well, guys, it's been the Takeover. I'm your host, Ryan. Thanks for enjoying episode 155. We'll catch you next time. Don't know who the guest is, but I'm sure you'll see. We'll see you next week. Y'all have a good one. Go Broncos. Peace.
Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now it's time for the takeover.
Buckle up for Kobe. Kobe Bryant just sucked the gravity out of the target center.
Not the game. We talking about practice, man.
The third straight play. Dodgers have won it all in 2020. Oh, what a
the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. If you ain't first, you're last.